morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are in the world. I've been wanting to do this Facebook Live for ages, actually, and about 2 years ago I did a Facebook Live about home swaps because I'd had so many requests of members of the community who wanted to do it and were asking whether I would facilitate it and how it could be done. And I think if you know me, I like to do things properly, or if you've worked with me in the past, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it properly. So this idea has been going around in my head for the last couple of years. My poor friends have had to listen to me chat about it on many occasions, throwing ideas out, and finally it's happening. Hurrah! And if I have a notebook with me with lots of lists on it, it's going to be an exciting Facebook Live, but also one that has loads of information. So if I look down, it's because I don't want to forget anything. So this is something that people have wanted for a long time. It makes sense. We're nearly 13,000 families now from all over the world, from Alaska, New Zealand, Australia, all over Europe, South Africa. We've got so many people everywhere. And how can we use this as a base to travel the world on a budget? So let me just tell you a little bit about why this home swap platform will be different to others, because obviously there are loads out there, but why not create our own for the community? There's no reason why we can't. So the main reason actually is this is specifically for the community and only for families. So I don't know if you've ever had a look on a home swap or house swap site before, but I've looked at it before, and then you scroll down to the bottom and then it says restrictions, no children under 12. So you're like, okay then. So this is just for families. It's basically a home from home. Number two, the difference is I want this to be open to everybody, because I think the difference with this community is we like to explore the world and really experience a location from the eyes of a local. And a lot of us backpack and we stay in hostels and we stay in homestays, and actually that adds to the experience. So this isn't about having the fancy house with a swimming pool. It's not about the bricks and mortar. This is about experience a place which is different from your home, where you feel comfortable. You know that other kids live there normally, so you've got your toys and anything else that you might need, which you don't have to take with you. And you can feel comfortable putting your property on there without having to worry about it not being the glitz and glam. Because, for example, I've got a lovely, comfortable house, but my kitchen is a very 1980s old style kitchen. I'll scan it around you and have a look. Look, nothing fancy, but I'm sure if a family was here for a week, they'd have a great time, because I've got the beautiful English countryside on my doorstep. I've got Harry Potter studios just down the road. I'm really close to London, 20 minutes. So if you stayed here, you would have a lovely time, and it doesn't matter that my kitchen's a 1980s kitchen. So that's number two. It's open to everyone. And also, I was thinking about Sarah Wheeler, and when you came back, Sarah, if you're watching this from your travels, and you built a yurt in the middle of the Welsh countryside, yes, that's an amazing experience. It doesn't matter what you live in. It's open to everybody. Number three, if you know me in person, or you probably got to know me through this group, you'll know I'm massively value driven. I shop in Aldi. I buy a lot of my clothes from charity shops. I hate paying for something that I'm not getting value from. So there's no join up fee. There's no membership fee. If you put your property on there and you don't actually swap, there's no cost. But the value comes from, obviously there will be a cost, I'll come on to that later on why there is a cost, to exchange. But the cost of exchanging will be less than one night accommodation for your family in normal circumstances, but you can go somewhere for 3 weeks. So it will be value driven. So that's number three. And number four, sorry, I have to look at my notes because otherwise I get too excited and I forget what I'm doing. Number four is, unlike other house swap sites where your property, you might put your property on there, but you're sitting basically waiting for somebody to find it. I want you to be able to actively promote where you want to go, where you're based, to other members of the community. So I will be setting up a separate closed Facebook community group for our tribe home swaps. So once you've listed your property, you can publish it and say, hey guys, I'm based in New York. I'm really looking to come to the UK for 2 weeks in the summer holiday. Anyone fancy swapping with me? And it's totally up to you to promote yourself as well, or I'll do weekly highlights or what's new on the website, all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to be helping you along, holding your hand, promoting it. and letting you promote yourselves. And someone said to me, but doesn't that mean that people could just swap without and bypass the system? Do you know what? Yes, you could if you wanted to. You could message someone directly through the Facebook group and say, I've noticed you've got your property up there, here's mine, do you want to look at it, should we just swap? There's nothing stopping someone do that, but I believe there's more good eggs in the world than bad eggs. So if there two bad eggs seem to come together and want to swap and bypass the system, go ahead and live with the bad vibes of being a bad egg. So that's that. And the great thing about it is I want to create this so that it's not just about the big holiday and swapping once a year. For me, I mean, I find it quite crippling to go anywhere during bank holidays or half term, even like in the UK. So for me, I would love to swap with someone who lives up in the Peak District, so I could go walking for 5 days with my son and they could come down here and experience London and have, you know, a very, very cheap break. I'd love to explore Scotland. So all these things which would only cost me the petrol and the transaction cost of swapping would be, that's something I want to use it for as well. So I will be using it a lot too. So how is this going to happen? So we will be releasing a registration page. Once it goes live, I will be staggering, because you actually upload your information yourself. So it's, I don't know what you call it really. Completely fill in the form yourself. You know, it will be just like an Airbnb site, basically. That's what I meant to say, the functionality of it. So you can upload your own information, but obviously I'm going to be having to check everything as well, so make sure that everything is done correctly and I've vetted it. So I will be staggering that. So the registration will go live soon. So if you are interested in being informed of when that is up, because I'll do it in order of people who are interested, please put a comment underneath saying yes, and I will make sure that you are linked to the new launch post when it goes live. We are also looking for 20 members to beta test this. It will be beta tested in January, because one of the search functions actually we're going to have on there is if you want to look for something that has babies or toddlers, for example, because you have a child of that age. So it just means that you know that when you turn up in that property, there will be a high chair, there will be kiddie stuff that you don't have to lug with you. So it'll probably save on your airline costs if you're flying, because you won't have to, you could probably do hand luggage, because you know that once you get there, everything will be there, and vice versa for the family when they swap. So if there are 20 members that would like to help me in January beta test this, I would be massively grateful if you could just put beta in the comments, then I will make sure I contact you via Messenger. And the site will go live in early March. And like I said, this is all about the experience of seeing somewhere through the eyes of a local and actually having that home from home. So the actual search criteria will be very different as well from a typical house swap site, because you can do it by location, but you can also search by the type of environment. So maybe you're more into mountains, or maybe you're more into the beach, or maybe you are into culture. So obviously some properties will fit into multiple categories, but it will just allow you to sort of see different parts of the world, but by going to areas that you really like. You know, it could be mountains that you like to climb, so why not swap with someone who's close to a mountain range or something where there's lots of outdoor trekking. And just to let you know, this is all being built properly. It will be, you know, very similar to an Airbnb site. And this is just, if you're still watching, thanks. How long have we been talking for? 9 minutes. Wow. I'm a bit of a hippie, and I always believe that if you put good vibes out there and help people, then they come back. And honestly, I can't believe how everything has sort of evolved with Our Tribe Travels in the last 3 years, and how this has now come into fruition. And basically someone in the playground said to me, oh, there's a lady who's looking for some help on something, would you mind helping her? I was like, oh, of course, no problem at all. We got chatting, I helped her out with what she wanted help with. And on one of our conversations at the end, I said, oh, I don't suppose you know anyone that can build websites. I'm really struggling to know where to find somebody to help me build this home swap site. So I shared how I wanted to build it and all the details surrounding it. She said, do you know what? That's exactly what my husband does. And he is looking to help people like you who don't have the capital to create something that they believe will work and to partner you. So that is exactly what is happening, just in case you wonder how this has all come about. So definitely love that. Put good vibes out, they always come back. And so I just feel very, very grateful that I can actually create something that I've wanted to do for the last few years. So that is it. So as I said, if you're interested in being tagged in the post when I actually launch the registration page, then please put yes under this post. And I really, really hope that you find it useful. I know it's going to be a really great success. I know that we have so many families all over the world that will just get so much value out of this, because it just brings your travel costs down, saves on all the packing, and just opens it up to everybody. And that's what I want this to be. This is for everybody, regardless of the type of house you live in. It's all about the location. So thank you for listening. That was a long one. It might be my longest Facebook Live. So have a lovely day, everybody.